All right, what if I told you that you could actually achieve financial freedom in just 1 year? I know, it sounds kind of crazy, maybe a little ambitious, but today we're going to break down a step-by-step plan to do exactly that. So, let's dive right in.
Just pause for a second and really let that sink in. Picture it. You wake up and there's this incredible sense of calm. Not because you're on some fancy vacation, no, but because your financial life is automated. It's secure. It's literally working for you while you sleep. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Sounds like a dream, right? It's a really powerful vision, but for so many of us, it feels, well, just like that, a dream. The gap between where we are right now and that feeling of total freedom can seem absolutely massive. But what if it isn't?
See, that's the core idea we're digging into today. This isn't some fantasy, it's a formula. Financial freedom isn't magic, it's math. It's a series of very specific, totally actionable steps that, honestly, anyone can follow, and we're about to walk through them one by one.
Okay, so where does this whole 12-month journey even begin? Well, it's not with complicated spreadsheets or picking stocks. Nope. It starts with a really fundamental question. What does freedom actually, truly mean to you? The very first step is to define your destination.
And this, right here, this is your destination. It's called your freedom number. And look, this isn't about becoming a billionaire or having a yacht. It's way simpler. It's just about having enough passive income to cover your life exactly as it is right now. It's a super concrete goal, and you calculate it by just taking your monthly expenses and multiplying by 12. That's it. So, for example, let's say you need, $2,000 a month to live comfortably. Your freedom number is $24,000 a year. Simple. And just like that, this huge, kind of vague idea of financial freedom stops being a fuzzy dream and becomes a real, tangible number you can actually aim for.
And that's the entire point of this first phase, you know? Once you have that clear target, everything changes. Every single decision you make, every dollar you save, every new skill you learn, it all has a specific purpose now. And that purpose is to generate that passive income. Honestly, clarity is power.
Okay, so we've got our target locked in. Now we move on to the next phase. Think of this part as plugging the leaks in your financial ship. It's all about taking control of your cash flow and building a rock-solid foundation before we start building the skyscraper on top. This is such a simple but incredibly profound truth. Financial control has almost nothing to do with how much money you make. It's all about how much you track. Getting your head around that, really adopting that mindset, is a fundamental shift.
So, what does that look like in practice? Here are 3 non-negotiable actions. First, for 1 month, 30 days, you track every single dollar. No judging yourself, okay? It's just data. Second, you start to identify and slash that emotional spending. You know what I'm talking about? The impulse buys, the subscriptions you forgot you even had. And third, you build that super crucial 3-month emergency fund. That's your safety net.
And if you need a simple framework for this, the 50-30-20 rule is fantastic. It's super straightforward. 50% of your income goes to your needs, 30% goes to your wants, and this is the important part, a full 20% goes directly into savings and investments. This simple little structure makes sure you're always building towards that future freedom.
All right, so we've defined our goal, we've stabilized the ship. Now it's time to go on offense. This next phase, which takes us from month 3 all the way to month 9, is all about one thing: dramatically jacking up your earning potential.
And here's the thing. Let's be real. You can only save so much money. There's a limit. To really truly accelerate this journey to freedom, you have to earn more. Period. And your ability to solve valuable problems for other people, in other words, your skill set, is without a doubt the most powerful wealth-building tool you've got.
So what kind of skills are we talking about? Well, these are some of the most in-demand ones right now. And the best part? You absolutely do not need a 4-year degree to learn them. Seriously, with just some focused effort over, say, 90 days, you could develop a skill that opens up brand new, significant income streams. Now, why is this so incredibly important? Well, get this, the average millionaire has at least five different streams of income. Think about that. Relying on just one single paycheck is honestly one of the riskiest financial positions you can be in. This is all about building real financial resilience.
And all of that brings us to the final active phase of this whole roadmap. We've managed to increase our income, which is awesome. Now it's time to put that money to work. This is the big pivot, folks, from active earning to passive wealth generation.
This right here, this captures what is probably the single most important mental shift in this entire process. It's the move from earning, trading your time for money, to owning, where your assets generate money for you 24/7. This is the end game, right? Your money finally starts working for you.
So how do you actually own things? Well, here are a few classic examples. You could own a tiny piece of the entire stock market through index funds. You could own rental properties that generate rent checks every month. You could own stocks that pay you dividends just for holding them. Or you could own a business system that runs for the most part without you.
And that's really the key takeaway here. Real wealth isn't just a big number in a bank account. It's an automated system. It's about creating these little engines that generate cash flow consistently, predictably. And then you take that cash flow and use it to build the next engine. It's a cycle.
Okay, so we've covered the what to do and the how to do it. But there's something running underneath this entire 12-month plan that is, without a doubt, the most critical piece of the puzzle. And that's your mindset. Think of it like this. The plan is the hardware, but your mindset is the software that makes the whole thing run. And there are a few core principles here that are just non-negotiable. First, stop chasing hot new trends. It's all about the boring, consistent habit of investing month in and month out. Second, you have to learn to say no to that instant gratification, choosing your long-term freedom over some short-term purchase. And finally, it's about replacing fear with curiosity, seeing a financial challenge not as a scary threat, but just as a problem that needs a solution.
Because ultimately, it all starts in your head. You have to truly believe that this is possible for you. You have to start acting like the person you want to become, way before your bank account ever reflects that reality. The internal work always comes before the external results. So, to wrap this all up, I think the most powerful message from this entire roadmap is about speed and focus. This is not your parents' 30-year retirement plan. No, this is a 12-month sprint, a year of radical focus that can fundamentally change the entire trajectory of your life.
And let's just end with that thought. Think about it. A year from now, you could wake up not as an employee, but as the CEO of your own life. 1 year of focused, intentional action. What could that really look like for you? The formula's right here. The only question left is, what are you going to do with it?